Hi there, I thought I'd record a video on how I get better output from Gemini Deep Research. So Gemini have recently, which is a Google DeepMind product, have recently upgraded their deep research functionality. My take is that after ChatGPT 5.0 Pro, Gemini Pro 3 in deep research is definitely one of the top contenders if you use deep research agents. At the moment, I think it's better than Claude Opus 4.5, but all three are getting better and better. So a deep research agent is an agent that you could think of as a hyper upgraded web and library search that will go off and find sources, analyze them, synthesize them, and give you back a report and share the underlying sources. So you can go back and read the primary sources yourself for your own interest, but also to sanity check to make sure that whatever level of hallucination or error is in there, it's not as high as using some other methods. Over the course of 2025, these tools have gotten much, much better. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk through what I do. And I use a two-step approach. So the first is I work with Gemini to get a better deep research prompt, and then I invoke deep research. So today, what we're going to do is ask for a deep research report on AI transformation in Southeast Asia. So I want to write an optimized deep research prompt. I want to understand AI transformation in Southeast Asia. So I've chosen here thinking, which will apply extra effort. If you expand to show the thinking, you can see that the underlying model's sharing a sanitized version of what it's doing. And then I have a optimized deep research prompt here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and I am going to paste it in here. And in Tools, I'm going to select Deep Research. Now this is a new feature that has been rolled out, so you can select Sources Search. You can integrate with your Gmail, Drive or Google Chat history if you're in a workplace environment, or you can upload files. Now I'm going to select Deep Research here and we're just going to go with this optimized prompt and see what we get. So it's going to go off and start researching. But there's a step in this process which I really like about how Google have implemented, or the Gemini team have implemented deep research. They're going to come back with a proposed research plan. And that means that they're basically going to take the prompt and break down how they propose to use sub-agents to go off and get the underlying information and assemble it back in line with what I'm expecting from the prompt that we've shared. So we can see here that they've come back with Southeast Asia AI transformation deep dive. If I click more, you can see it's identified a lot of different trends that are happening. It's reasonably exhaustive. It'll then analyze the results, create the report. Now, what you can do is go in and edit the plan. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you go edit plan, what I want is I want for each ASEAN country a clear summary of the legal and compliance obligations applying to firms in that country with regard to AI use, privacy protection, and let's think of something random just to stretch the model, sustainability. So we have a bit of control in how we execute the deep research prompts. Now, if you've not used these deep research tools before, you might notice that we haven't actually started the task. We're still in the planning phase. And if you take one thing away from this video, it's that to get the best output from AI agents, you need to go back and forth a few times in the planning phase so that the final prompt that is starting the work plan is developed enough that it's broad, it's detailed, it's clear, it's got what you want. Now, if we check here, what are they doing here? Okay, cool. I'm gonna click Start Research. Now this window that pops up is going to show what's happening while Deep Research is going off to do these tasks. You can show the thinking, or you can show the sources browsed. So as it goes through, you can see here, it's going off and researching certain websites. And one thing I like, and I think Google was able to implement this because obviously they've got such a history around search and how this stuff works, you can see where things are coming from and how the agent is responding to information discovered during their search. So it's going here, it's mapping the infrastructure gold rush, addressing the BPO sector paradox, insights on sovereign AI development, structuring the regulatory compliance deep dive, recalibrating the infrastructure narrative, progress on labour and talent cost contrast, identifying regulatory and adoption gaps, next steps, confirming production use cases. Okay. So, as you can see, as a curious person who loves learning new things, I used to spend a lot of time browsing and spending time on the internet, reading long PDFs and reading books and that sort of thing. I still do that, but I use Deep Research as almost like the first pass to help me get a better primary source reading list, to help me surface things I mightn't have thought about if I was manually searching or trying to learn about a topic. The value of Deep Research is that it expands what you look at and you get exposure to sources that you may not have discovered if you were just Googling around like you would have a couple of years ago. The caveat is that if information is stuck in a proprietary database where you have to pay for a license or subscription, you're not going to have access to it in here. That's going to change over time, but for our purposes, where we're just demonstrating the capability of Google's Deep Research, I think this is pretty good. So it's still working away here, ready for final synthesis. So one thing which I've noticed is each time these models come out, I like to run the Deep Research queries on similar topics, so I see how each different model has generated a Deep Research report on the same topic. And if I go back and look a year ago at Deep Research queries that were run and the quality and breadth and depth of output, it's much, much better than it was. And it's improving rapidly every few months. My understanding is that the labs are fine-tuning these Deep Research agents a bit, so it's not like when you just go into the normal thinking mode and request for something. It's a tuned tool, so like a sub-product or adjacent product to the standard prompt window. It's got the underlying model underneath, but it's essentially leveraging Deep Research type training where find something, update, go off and find a similar thing. Oh, that's out of line with our hypothesis. We now need to go find more. Now, this is almost like the pre-agentic coding use of agents. And when I map my experience using these Deep Research tools to the agentic coding tools like Claude Code and Google's Anti-Gravity and ChatGPT Codex, I find that you could actually use some of these agentic tools for Deep Research purposes. But not everyone's comfortable with learning the command line interface and using their terminal. And I think if you were just using AI for research or things like that, this is probably more than good enough. Now, if you're in a workplace where you can add in your network drives and data and all this sort of and emails into this deep search, you are quickly in a position where you're able to realize the power of these tools against your own unique context. So obviously what's happening when the tool is going out and doing this research is it's accessing public information on the internet. When you map that up to what you have in your own business, your own household, and combine the two, that synthesis is where the real value add of AI is going to come over the next few years. And the development of these Deep Research agents is only going to get better as more proprietary data sources are able to be linked and connected to these tools. I've been talking a lot about the closed source, big tech way of doing deep research. But if you're an open source type person, a number of people have built their own implementations of deep research tools. And what that means is you could go off on your own, find your own API key using a tool like OpenRouter or Requesty, and build your own deep research agent and tune it for how you want to search for things and have it come back. So we can see here we've got our report, ASEAN Digital Compliance and Strategy Report 2025, the triad of AI governance, data sovereignty, and sustainable infrastructure. So you can see here it's gone through and written quite a detailed report, and a good proportion, or almost all of this, is it's not hallucinated, it's not made up. You can go back and check the sources. If you want to fact check things like this, you can take the sources, but you can also take this and then put it into another AI model and get it to verify it. And that's something which I think is quite amusing, because sometimes you find there are some sources which maybe aren't up to scratch, but what I've noticed is that the rate of errors and the rate of hallucinations has plummeted since the start of 2025. So you can see here, this is the sort of report where if you were going off and doing all this research and synthesis manually, that would take you quite some time. This video has been running for about 13 minutes so far when I'm recording, and would I have spent more than 13 minutes just reading and browsing and searching to be able to get to this sort of source collection or source collation? Sure, easily. When you think about using the AI tools to synthesize and come up with a report and get you interesting things like this table here. This is the different data privacy obligations across key ASEAN markets. Okay, cool. Maybe that's all hallucinated. I don't know off the top of my head. If I was going to use this in a deliverable, I'd go off and verify and validate it. And that's what you still need to have, that mindset of QA and checking. We do need to take everything with a grain of salt. And I'm not out here saying that we can just trust everything that comes out of an AI tool blindly, but this is much better than a lot of people realize, because they don't use the tools in this way. So again, just to echo what I said at the start, the way to get the leverage out of a tool like Deep Research is you need to have a back and forth refining the prompt. You need to edit the plan if you aren't happy with exactly the steps that it plans to take to go off and deal with your query. And then once you've had the plan produced and you've got this, you can see all the sources are in here. And one thing that I really like is that Google puts in a sources read but not used in the report. I hope you've enjoyed this overview of how I use and get some value out of deep research tools. What you can do here is ask questions and interact with the report. So I might say, what are the top 3 takeaways from this report? And we'll see what it comes up with. It's funny because one thing I've noticed recording this video is the time it takes for Gemini to generate it is a bit faster. Gemini, when they first released the Deep Research product, was extremely slow. Like, I'd have to go and make 2 coffees before I'd be able to actually get the report I requested. It's quite interesting that a lot of capability like this isn't being tested aggressively enough by people who would really benefit from it. If you're doing market research on companies, if you're doing product research, if you are trying to upskill and learn a skill, one challenge that I would give to you today is go try out Gemini, come up with something you're trying to upskill on, go back and forth with Gemini to optimize a deep research prompt for you to be able to develop that skill. Maybe it's search engine optimization, maybe it's understanding unit economics, whatever it is, a skill at that sort of level. Then execute the prompt and then see what you get back. I think a lot of people will be pleasantly surprised, because if you think about how you would have acquired a skill in previous years, you might have had to go pay for a course or do something like buy a book. And what you can do now is get a shorter summary of what you might need. I think that that is actually quite valuable. Okay, so what does it say the top 3 takeaways are from this report? Number 1, the grace period is over. Compliance is fractured into hard law. Infrastructure access is now gated by green mandates. Sovereign AI and labour pivots are strategic imperatives. Interesting. Well, I enjoyed making this video for you. If you'd like to see more of this sort of how I actually use AI, let me know. Drop a comment below. If you would like to see more of this AI transformation type content, you can like this video, subscribe to the channel. I've also got a Substack where I send out what I'm learning in the AI transformation world and share that with my audience every week. I also work with select clients on unblocking AI transformations in their businesses. And one thing I'd say is that if you have something that you're on the fence about in terms of, oh, how does this work, or how do I do this? Try out deep research queries a bit more for the next couple of days. And let me know in the comments below like how you find it. If you see crazy levels of hallucination or error rates, I'd be really interested. When I have used these queries in things that I've got a lot of domain knowledge in, I noticed like at the start of the year there were still a lot of issues, but over time as model capability has gotten better and the fine tuning they're doing for the deep research agents has gotten better, that's reduced. You still need to take everything with a grain of salt, but I think the overall quality of this sort of stuff is getting a lot better, and the cost, Gemini I think is like $20 or $30 a month. This is a pretty valuable product proposition from Google, and what I like is I think that of the products that Google has released this year, Notebook LM is fantastic, but Gemini and Deep Research I think is really underrated, and I hope that this video has helped you realize the potential power of it in problems you're solving. So let me know what you find when you try out Gemini Deep Research yourself.